welcome back. So that was our first Pomodoro session. I was able to get something done. Were you? I hope so. So during the break time, I'm going to start by showing off some of the stuff that I 3D printed lately. Maybe not sit on the wire for my lav mic. So this is a clamp. Let's see, it is a C-clamp with a little mounting bracket thing on the side here. And this actually works. You can twist the knob down here. And it has a little cap piece on here that snaps on in place. Very fun. So what is this for? This is for clamping stuff onto the desk. I'm gonna turn off the music monitor so I can listen if there's any event triggers or anything without getting feedback. Yeah, so this thing tightens up and then you could clamp it onto a desk surface. I'm going to be using it on my work table downstairs where I have my 3D printer set up. And then on the side of these, there are these different arm pieces. So you can attach this and you get like a little modular arm mount system. And there are real hardware nuts and bolts that fit through this. So this one kind of goes sideways like that, but then there's also a direction changing piece, which you can see the 3 and the 2, and you can also see here there's this little gap where you drop a hex nut in, and the shape of the plastic around it holds the nut in place. And then there are also knobs that have the same similar hex head cut into them. And then a bolt goes through there and connects with the nut, and then that's how you tighten the pieces up. So this would clamp to the desk like that, direction changer fits into there like that, and then this arm snaps into place like that. So then another bolt and nut go through here. And then I've got another arm piece that can go up here. Now we're getting a little treacherous. I haven't actually bolted these things together yet, so it's working entirely based on friction right now to stay upright. So we have that. And then this is a little phone mount. So it's got the 2 prongs there so it can fit into the top here. And then this slides up and down, and there are 2 ways to do it. There's one way where you can slide a nut and bolt through here, and then there's a little knob piece that fits onto the end so that you can hand tighten it. Or you can pass a rubber band through, and then the rubber band will pull and just use pressure to hold the phone in place. So the idea is then that goes up on top here, and then I can just bend the angles in the arm and have a camera mount down there so I can record things that my 3D printer is doing. And then I'll be able to show some of those videos during streams and whatnot, or TikToks. And then we can show off some of the cool things that have been printed. Like this cube, for instance. This was a test to see how the grip was against the hot base, and it turned out pretty well. This was when I was getting weird threading issues and the prints were turning into just piles of spaghetti, basically. Don't eat that. That's what I say. So here, let's try fitting a nut into here. So if you have a 3D printer at home and you want to talk about some of the stuff that you've printed or things that you would be interested in printing if you had a printer, let me know in the chat. I went to my friendly local hardware store Hashtag not sponsored. Although it would be cool if I got them to sponsor my streams. I go in there enough these days. Picked up the hardware for it, so let's see here. We are going to take this and we are going to fit a bolt into this hole here. I also need to pick up a deburring tool so that I can get the bits of plastic off of here. It does not just slide through the holes as I expected it would. I'm actually having to put some pressure and twist to get it through, but they do appear to be threaded, so that's at least good. And then we'll just see if all three of them line up correctly. And I hope they do. Yeah, they do. Great. It's very tight though, so I guess that tells me that the tolerance on my printer is good, if it actually goes through and works correctly. Now the trick is going to be once it gets down to the point where the head of it fits into that head-shaped hole. Remember, this is a family-friendly stream, so keep your mind out of the gutter. Alright, I have a pair of needle nose pliers here that I can use to try to bring that down the rest of the way. It's always hard to remember lefty-loosey, righty-tighty goes backwards when you're looking at something upside down. So let's bring this down into the hole there. I don't know if it's actually going to work correctly because it's not supposed to thread into the hole, it's just supposed to push right into it. You have to line up the hex head with the slots of the hole. You obviously can't turn it into place because then wouldn't really work correctly. Or maybe that's just for a nut to drop into then, and maybe this actually goes in the other thing. But then that one has a hex head too, so I don't know how that would work. Let's see, maybe I can pull this in. And hopefully I don't damage the threads doing this. There we go. Look at that. Come on, focus. Maybe if I move out of the way, or maybe if I just slowly send it toward the camera. But yeah, you can see it just fits perfectly in that little groove right there. There is a little, I guess it's not quite a perfect fit. There is still a little tiny bit of play. You can kind of see it's turning like that just a little bit. But it's not bad. Overall, I think this was a success. So I'm gonna take that and, oh, you know what? Oh, okay, this is the other side. I didn't make a mistake yet. Okay. I'm all right so far. So that one goes there, and I'm going to put another bolt through this one, remembering to have passed the thing through here first before I start. That's very important. Oh, but it's time for another work session, so I'm going to work on that at the next break. And then, you know, I have something to look forward to. You have something to look forward to if you want to watch me struggle to put a thing together. You know, I'm sure that's lots of fun for you. But anyway, I'm going to get back to work and enjoy the time. Hope you can get something done. I'll be rooting for you.